Shalom, brothers. This is Yabatazah over here with GMS, His hired servants. I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. Much love, respect to you brothers out there doing the work in sincerity and truth. Basically, I just want to do a video about in the very early stages of me coming into this truth. Regards to my first encounter of a chariot and how that was the beginning of wisdom testing me, all right, and how it led me to this very point today. All right, even though we're in this flesh, we still fall, we still mess up, we come short of the glory of the Most High. All right, righteous man falleth 7 times and riseth up again. All right, but this is what that video is about. Just a testimonial of my first encounter of a chariot in the early stages, in the early days of me following Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and being put through that discipline, through that fiery trial of my faith. All right, but right, like right here on the screen, you see I have on Google, I typed in moon and I clicked on images, and you see here the moons and how it's a perfect sphere, it's this perfect circle, man, you know, except for when it goes through its stages, you know, from the waning and waxing of the moon to the new moon, you know, meaning it's gonna it's born and then it dies, you know. It has a moon has a life cycle. All right, but this all started the encounter of the chariot that I encountered was in December 25th 2008, and the reason I know that day was because I was actually at my grandma's house during Christmas. All the family had went over there. I hadn't even started going out to the highways and the byways yet. I was still learning. I was in between GOCC and GMS. All right, 2008, man. All right, December 25th 2008. Okay. And right, you know, like my dad had came down from where he was staying at the time, and you know, so I had a you know, there was certain things, I ain't gonna say anything personal things, all right, that you know, I ain't gonna put out too much information, but we were all gathered there at my grandma's house and I was going through a lot of shit at that time. All right, you know, so prior, there's gonna be other videos, Lord willing, about, you know, the testimony, my testimony of me coming into this truth and how it's led me from the early stages of, you know, being a teenager and whatnot. But I wanted to make this video, like I said, about the chariot, man, because the chariots of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai are there, and they're in the heavens watching. Whether you could see them or not, they're there. The angels of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai's angels, man. Okay, and like I said, this encounter happened December 25th 2008. Okay, and I remember at this time, me and an individual female, all right, we're arguing and whatnot, and I was really down, you know. I was down in the spirit. I was vexed, you know. Basically, I needed to release, you know. So I walked outside that house. It was early, and it was nighttime already, you know. So I was out there in the front, on a swinging chair, you know, by myself, looking into the heavens, praying to Yahweh Shai. All right. So like I said earlier, it was between, I was in between GOCC and GMS, but I was already transitioning from the name Ahaya, Ashar Ahaya, and Yeshaya after being rebuked from a GMS camp over there in Colorado before this new camp was put on over there. All right, there was already a camp out there years ago. All right, but after being rebuked by that brother, I mean, I don't know where he's at or if he's doing the work or what, you know, but he rebuked me. So it was already a transition, me going from that name to Yahweh Shai, Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. Now I was out there praying, looking into the heavens, and I felt this light, glowing light from the corner of my left eye, the peripheral. So I turned, looking towards the southwest. All right, because I was facing the west. So this bright light was coming from the southwest, and real quick, while I was out there, you know, being heavy in the spirit, a friend of the family was out there smoking a cigarette, but he wasn't aware of what was up in the sky, and what I was seeing was at an eye level. It wasn't like your neck was bent all the way back. You could see it like it didn't take much. Now I don't know if other people saw it. I don't know. You know, I know what I saw, and it's not to convince anybody. It's just basically a testimonial. All right, and there's gonna be, Lord will, other videos on how I was ultimately brought through the Spirit into the ministry of standing up for Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, but while I was vexed, heavy in the spirit, outside praying to the Lord Yahweh Shai, needed to be comfort. I was asking for comfort. You know, of course, I was shedding some tears and whatnot. And I saw this light, man. So I looked at it, and it was a big ball of light, a perfect circle. As you see here, I got these images. This is just something I wanted to use to illustrate what I was seeing. All right, because it wasn't the moon. All right, you know when it's the moon, it has all these different craters from the asteroids, hitting it. This sphere that I had seen in the heavens that night was a perfect circle, man, and it was as big as a full moon that's rising. If you brothers know what I'm talking about, when it's rising from the east, it has that real dark orange color, and then when it starts ascending higher and higher, it starts turning white. Well, that light that I saw was just as big as that. Okay, like this one, it was huge, man, but there was no craters in it. It was a perfect sphere and an organic light. Okay, it wasn't a light that brightens up the land, or it's not an obvious light. Okay, it was like, that's the only way I can express it. It was organic. Okay, but if you were looking up above, you're being if you were paying attention to the heavens, you would probably see it. Maybe not, who knows? All I know is I saw this thing. All right, at the time I was tripping. I was like, what is this? So I get up from that chair and I go inside. Still, when I'm walking towards the house to go inside the front door, I'm still looking at this ball of light. So I was going in to tell everybody bye. I wanted to be alone. And then when I saw that light, I wanted to find out more. I wanted to get answers. So I said bye to everybody. I walked out the house. Okay. I walked out of the house and I walked towards the back of the house, which was, like I said, the southwest. Okay. And the light was like this, as in this picture right here. It wasn't, the light wasn't bright to where you could not look at it. It was tolerable. It was just there in the sky. Huge, man. I'm telling you, it was the biggest. It was like the moon was right there. Right there in front of me. You know? But the light, the color of it was almost like this picture right here. Okay? It was a big ball of bright light. But like I said, it was an organic light. If you understand what I'm saying, it wasn't a light to where it was illuminating the whole land, or to where it was obviously something brighter than like the moon, you know? It was just shining its light. Now, from the time when I was walking out from the front door up to the back of the house into my car, I never took my eyes off of it. And I kept speaking to myself, what is this? What is this, man? What is it? Because I had already been hearing about the chariots, but I had not seen one yet. You got to remember that. When I was coming into the truth, when I was seeking truth, 2008, all right? In early 2008 is when I started researching. I started digging deeper in 2008, okay? So I was hearing all this stuff. I was hearing stuff from GOCC, GMS. You know, I was watching videos about, you know, the Anunnaki and stuff like that. And, you know, so when I started hearing about the chariots from the camps, you know, researching through the scripture, I was like, wow, you know, I would want to see one. But in a way, I was kind of in disbelief. I was still learning. So this time from when I walked out the house, December 25th, 2008, I was excited. But at the same time, I wasn't trying to be gullible. I wasn't trying to be too swift to judge or say that that was what it was. I had to find out for sure if it was the truth, if it was what it was. Now, real quick, right here, I have right here The Close Encounters of the Third Kind. This is a movie that came out in the late 1970s. Well, there's a scene where the man encounters a UFO, but he doesn't know what it is. He just knows there was a bright light like this. See, when I say organic, I'm talking about it was like natural. Okay, it wasn't like a bright light was over me or nothing like that. Like in this picture that I have right here. In this movie, Close Encounter of the Third Kind, this man was receiving, well, he was in his truck, and his truck shut off and everything. The radio was all messed up, the frequencies and everything. And the UFO, the chariot that was above him, was the thing that was causing that. And then the light shined upon his car. And I forget what happens, but then real quick it disappears, just shuts off, like it was back to normal as night. Okay? Well, it wasn't like this for me. It wasn't like this the way they have this scene in this movie. Okay? That's why I have this one up. And you can watch the movie. It's a good movie. It's about the chariots, man. They get this whole plot from Mount Sinai with Moses. All right, see the mountain right here. And it looks like Mount Sinai, and then look at that big mothership, the Chariot of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, but in this movie, in the early stages of this movie, everybody was not everybody, a select few, or maybe like 3 or 4, were receiving telepathic signs or messages on where to go in a future time, because those chariots, these extraterrestrials were gonna visit the earth. Okay, well, back to what I'm saying, it wasn't no obvious light, nothing like that. Okay, it was a ball of light in the heaven, in the sky, and all you had to do is barely tilt your head up and it was right there. Okay, well, when I got in my car that night, and I was facing right at it too. My car was faced directly at it, and it was right there in my face. It was right there, man. I'm talking literally just right there in front of my face. Now, I had to know if it was really a chariot. I kept asking myself. I was looking at it. I had my hands on the steering wheel, and had my head close up to the windshield and everything. I was, real up close to the steering wheel and the windshield, just looking at it, and it was just there in front of me. But I wasn't speaking any words from my mouth. It was all being done in my head. Okay. Then it came to a point to where I was saying in my mind, in my spirit, is this a chariot? Is this a chariot of the Lord? And I was saying, no, it's not. I started doubting that it wasn't anything, because I didn't want to play myself, because I was already feeling low and everything like that, and I was like, man, I didn't want to get excited and then to believe in something that wasn't really it. Then I was gonna make me even feel more like shit, But as soon as I started doubting, the light, that ball of light, started dimming down. Like if you had, where you have in some houses, they have those knobs to control the light, the dimness of the light. You can turn it to where it brightens up the room, fully bright, and then you can dim it down to where you can control the light. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was doing. It was, instead of it being bright as it was when I first saw it, when I started doubting, the ball of light was dimming out because of my doubt. So it came to a point where after it started dimming down, I started believing again, and the light went back to its original form. I'm telling you, man, this ball of light was corresponding with my mind. I don't know, if it was like some type of telepathic thing. I wasn't hearing no voice. I wasn't nothing like that. But whatever I was thinking, that's what it was doing. When I believed, it stayed shining bright. But when I started to doubt, it corresponded immediately. When I doubted, the light to die out. So when I believed that first time, when I doubted it, when it was dimming out slowly, you could see it. You could see it die out. Slowly it started dying out. So I believed again in my mind, my spirit, and it went back to its original brightness. Then I was like, no, maybe that's some type of coincidence. There's no way that just happened. Because this whole time when I was going through all this, I was like, man, this can't be real. It was almost like if I was in a movie and somebody was directing and controlling it. Like this is something that you would see in the movies. So I had to do it one more time to see if it really was it. This time, I completely doubted it. And as soon as I completely doubted it, that light shut off completely, and it was like the dark sky. It was completely dark, you know, with the stars, you know, glistening, you know. But there was no, I could not see no circle or any kind of shape of the circle in that darkness. So when I doubted completely, and it shut down completely that quick that I doubted, it shut out that quick. But that quick, at that same time, man, I believed, and I got scared, and I said no. In my mind, I said, no, 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 come back. And when I said that, the light came back on, but even brighter, and I could see a dark ring within that brightness, because the brightness had it illuminated brighter because of my belief. I believed, I had faith, and I knew that this was no coincidence. I believe and I know that it was Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, as a chariot that was sent to do what? To comfort me, to guide me, to tell me this is going to be the beginning of your trial. Because soon after that, Akim, I left. I kept looking at that light. I kept looking at it. I wanted to go to that direction, to where it was, but I couldn't, because I was on empty in the car, man. I had no gas. So I ended up, all I could do was just go from A to B. I had to go there, back to the house. So when I get to the house, man, I just go inside, and I'm thinking, man. I'm thinking about everything. I'm thinking about the truth. I'm thinking about what I just saw. You know, the way I was going, what I was feeling, what I was going through at that time with this individual person. Okay, this female. Well, when I get to the house, you know, I go in there, and I'm just picking up, cleaning up, washing dishes, and thinking, you know. And out of nowhere, she pops in the house, hysterical, crying, accusing, making accusations about something. And I'm over here trying to control her, trying to tell her that everything's gonna be okay, that nobody's gonna do anything, that it's not true. That's, you know, that's not what's gonna happen. She wasn't hearing it, man. She wasn't hearing it at all. All right, and she had knew what I was getting into prior. You know, I wasn't observing Christmas, and I wasn't observing Halloween. Even though I was there because of family. The family came in. My pops came in, my dad. I wanted to visit him, see him. And but as far as the gifts and all that stuff, and you know, no, man, you know, I wasn't doing that. That was in 2008. And like I said, I hadn't gone out to the highways and the byways. I wasn't preaching, teaching nobody nothing. I was teaching myself. All right, so she had been knowing what I was getting into. So slowly and surely, she started seeing that I was changing. Okay. Well, when she came in, I was doing all that, comforting her, all this stuff, reassuring her that nothing was gonna happen. Well, she was fixed in her mind that she was gone. So she left and took the other half of me with her. And I'm talking about my seed. That quick. That was the day when my seed was taken away from me. That was the beginning and the end of me and her, and my seed being there with me on a daily basis. And it was the beginning of me with the Lord, and me and him pushing me and guiding me to where I'm at today. Okay. I want to bring out, I guess, some scriptures. I'll bring out a few scriptures. The first scripture I want to bring out, brothers, is on start at James chapter 1 verse 17. It says, every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. of his own will begat he us with the word of truth, that we should be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. Like it said, every good gift and every perfect gift is from above. Now, at the time, I didn't know what was going on, man. I saw the brothers on the highways and the byways preaching, you know, breaking down the 12 tribes and wearing the garments and saying that we're Hebrew Israelites. But I didn't know that I was going to go out onto the highways and the byways and be a witness for Yahweh Shai's sake. I didn't know that I was going to be granted the things that I know that have been given to me from Yahweh Shai, through the elders, through the brothers, the Akim. Okay. Now it goes to say in James 1:17, and cometh down from the Father of lights. Now the Father of lights is who? Yahweh. And the angels are his lights. The chariots. And they relay messages. And like the scriptures say, that the angels of the Lord encampeth around those that fear him. Right? Let me just bring it up right here. Well, I have my sword open. Okay. But man, this is something that I went through, my first encounter of a chariot. And it was the beginning of my trial of faith. This is Psalms, Salakia Akim. This is Psalms 34:7. The angel of the Lord encampeth around about them that fear him, and delivereth them. Okay. Now, like I said, the beginning of me coming in, or believing, or finding out the truth, was the Lord preparing and protecting me for what was coming in the future. I just didn't understand. Even to this very time today, I don't understand, because I can't tell what the future is as far as like what's going to happen in my daily life. Yeah, the Lord can show me in visions, things of that nature, but we don't have control like that. We don't have insight like that. You know? But the Lord gives us certain things, whether it be a brother making a video, or us reading the scriptures, or giving us a little sign or a dream. We can more or less pinpoint, okay, this is what's going to happen. But we don't know when, how. We just have to have hope and faith that Yahweh Shai is going to see us through them things. Okay? Like it says, Psalms 34:7, the angel of the Lord encampeth around about them that fear him, and delivereth them. Right? So that was the beginning of my trial. This is James, going back to James 1:17. With whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. Meaning that Yahweh Shai doesn't change. Okay, he already has selected individual men to do this work. All right, every brother has its own lot and measure of faith, and go from glory to glory. Okay, James 1:18, of his own will begat he us with the word of truth. You see, that's how we're born again, is through the spirit of the word, man, the word. It says, of his own will begat he us with the word of truth. We can't tell the Lord when we're gonna come to him, or when we're gonna be born again, or when I'm ready and not ready. When the Lord's ready for you, that's it. That's when it starts. There's no running away from it. There ain't nothing like that. You have to deal with the Lord when he calls you out, whether it be for righteousness or unrighteousness. Or even if the righteous fall, we still have to face with chastisement. When it's time, it's time. There's nothing we can do. We can't escape it. It says, James 1:18, of his own will begat he us with the word of truth, that we should be a kind of first fruits of his creatures, right? Because the elect are his first fruits, beginning with Yahweh Shai. Now, it says that gift, every perfect gift comes from above. Now, this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 1. It says, wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily, and sweetly doth she ordereth all things. Okay. Now I'm going to jump down all the way to verse 21 in Wisdom of Solomon 8:21. It says, nevertheless, when I perceived that I could not otherwise obtain her, except Yahweh gave her me. And that was a point of wisdom also, to know whose gift she was. You understand? So it's Yahweh Shai that give us this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. The strength of our salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. And it happens to us, brothers, in different ways. Through preaching, you know, watching the videos. However the Lord may see fit to pull you into doing the work. To preparing you to do the work. Because we all come from different backgrounds and ways of life as far as what we're going through in those times. You know? But this was a video of me wanting to do a testimony of my first encounter of a chariot in the beginning of my trial. Now let's get that one in the book of Ecclesiastes, or Ecclesiasticus. It says, Ecclesiasticus chapter 4, I'm going to start at verse 11. Wisdom exalteth her children, and layeth hold of them that seek her. Okay, I'm going to jump down to verse 17. For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline, until she may trust his soul, and try him by her laws. And that's exactly what happened, man. When I saw that huge chariot in the sky, soon after, hell broke loose for me that night. Started a lot of drama, man. You know? But when I saw it, and it was corresponding with my mind, man, telepathically, it was being shown to me to be strong, it was Yahweh Shai was comforting me, giving me something to look back and be like, remember, keep going. You know, and we have our, like I said, we all have our own ways and not ways, but we all have our experiences that we went through, and we look back at them things to encourage ourselves. We have memories, and we use memories to help us push. You know, this is Ecclesiasticus 6:21. She will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial. You know, so she's the beginning of trial, man, to see whether or not she can trust you. And if you can endure that, you're going to be chastised and have removed from you the impurities. Now, I don't know if I'm the elect. I hope to be. But that's my testimony of witnessing the chariot. The biggest chariot I've ever seen since I've came into the truth. Okay? But, this is, I'm going to keep reading Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach 6:21. She will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial, and he will cast her off from him, ere it be long. For wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many. Right, you know, it's like that chariot that I saw that night, man. I can't say if anybody else saw it. I know what I saw, and it was like it was there for me. You know, and it was corresponding with my thoughts. When I didn't believe that it was a chariot, it was dying out. When I completely doubted that it wasn't a chariot, it shut down. It turned off, and the sky appeared as normal. But as soon as I believed, that light came back on. You know. But I just wanted to share that with y'all, brothers. Lord will, Yahweh Ratazah, Yahweh Shai Ratazah. I might make another video of a prior video of where I started with this one, which led me to the truth, man. You know. But I just wanted to make that, brothers, and you know, hope brothers will be encouraged. You know, the Lord is there, man. He exists. You know, there's like in the book of Acts, chapter 1, it says, this is Acts chapter 1. I'll start at verse 1. The former Tristis, can't pronounce that word. It says, the former Tristis have I made, O Theophilus, of all that Yahweh Shai began both to do and teach, until the day in which he was taken up, and after that he through the Holy Spirit had given commandments unto the apostles whom he had chosen, to whom also he shewed himself alive after his passion by many infallible proofs, being seen of them 40 days, and speaking of things pertaining to the kingdom of Yahweh. You see, so there's many infallible proofs that Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai exists. Okay, and these are just testimonies to encourage brothers, to lift brothers' spirits up. Because even if when I go out to the highways and the byways, or in my daily life, and I'm outside and I happen to see a chariot, man, and it might be the smallest one in there, it still gives me hope. You know? So I hope some of you brothers are encouraged. Keep pushing, keep fighting, man. The angels of the Lord are there, man. They're watching us and protecting us. Lord will. Yahweh Shai. But I guess I'm gonna end it with that, brothers. I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth, and still teaching me this truth. Thank you for being my spiritual fathers, or my spiritual father, man, on the earth. But, you know, much peace and blessings to you brothers out there doing the work in sincerity and truth as well. Until next time, brothers, I want to say shalom.